Check out my sweet velvet kimono. Hey guys, Demi Bemi here. Today I want to tell you guys a little bit of a ghost story. I would like to say it is a true story, something that happened to me personally. I have absolutely zero evidence, so don't be one of those people that's like, ooh, did that even really happen? Just at least enjoy it for story factor, alright, guys? Okay, so to start off this story, it was at my husband's house before we were married. So we were just dating at the time. And he was like telling me, he lived with his friend, and they were telling me all these weird stories about things that were like happening in their apartment. That stuff, I'm not 100% clear on what happened. I talked to him about it, and he said that he might post his side of the story. So if he does, I will post that link in the description below. So go ahead and check that bad boy out. So anyway, so him and his friend, they're telling me all of these stories of things that are happening. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like a skeptic, a disbeliever. I totally believe in the paranormal. I think that's something that's real. Oh, excuse me. I definitely believe it's something that's real. However, I do feel like the human brain does like weird things when it gets scared. I think that it, of course, tries to justify what the fuck is going on in a situation. So you hear a bump in the night and your brain's gonna justify it one way or the other. Some people might just be like, oh, creaky pipes or something. I don't know, is that a thing? And I also feel like some people justify it by saying, oh my god, it's paranormal. Like, it must be a ghost. So I was a little bit like, yeah, okay, cool. Like, I can dig it. And they were telling me something about, like, cupboard slamming and, like, an old lady. It was just, like, craziness. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I personally wasn't, like, too worried about it. I thought maybe they were just, like, psyching themselves out. So one night, I was spending the night over there, and we had literally stayed up like the entire night. It was like 8 a.m. by the time like we were getting to bed. And my husband, well, I guess Ed, I'll call him Ed, that's his name. So he was getting in the shower. Yeah, so he was gonna go like take a shower before bed, and then I just called him to bed because I was absolutely pooped. I mean, it was 8 a.m. So he had some sort of like a blackout curtain or something over his window. So when I turned off the light to go to sleep, it was like super dark, like pitch black, like nighttime. And so I'm laying there, and I'm kind of like, it wasn't one of those things where you hit the pillow and you just pass out. I wish it would have been. So I'm laying there, and I'm not able to fall asleep right away. Like, I felt a little bit uncomfortable, and I wasn't sure if it was like, oh, it's just not my house, so like my body's like on alert mode or whatever the deal was, but I just wasn't comfortable enough to fall asleep. And I'm laying there, and mind you, his bedroom is on a second story, so they live in like a little like a townhousey type apartment guy. Up at the top of the stairs, they have a small landing. There's a door to the upstairs bathroom, there's a door to his room, and a door to his friend's room. I mean, it's a pretty old apartment, so things are pretty creaky. I hear what sounds like his friend walking up the stairs. We hear like, breep, 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 like someone walking up the stairs, like creaky stairs. So I'm just like, oh, whatever. That's just his friend. And then I hear it get the person, him, his friend, I'm assuming it's his friend, get to the top of the stairs. And it stops at the top of the stairs, and I feel somebody at the door. Like somebody's just like waiting there. And I'm not like seeing shadows or anything, but like it's sort of like when someone just is like staring at you and you can feel someone staring at you. It was one of those situations. And so I just kind of felt like somebody was just like waiting at the door, and I could still hear Ed in the shower. So I'm like, okay, well, he's still in the shower, so it's definitely not him. It must be his friend. I'm just sort of like waiting, and I hear like, I want to say they paced back and forth by the door, like they were kind of like walking around by the door. And I was like, that's super weird that his friend would be doing this. And then whatever is at the door walks or is in, I don't know what you would call that word, like this, whatever it was, entered the room. The door didn't open, nothing crazy happened, but I felt like a presence, like a human. I guess they're not really human, but like some sort of a presence. Like there was an entity there, there was an energy there that I could feel, like somebody watching you. So the bed is here, and the door is like, say here, and this is like the foot of the bed, and the door is here. So like right as soon as you walk in, it's at the foot of the bed. So whatever it is comes in, and I want to say that it had stopped. This has been a few years now, like I'm a little bit fuzzy on super details, but I know that whatever it is came in and it saw me. It paced back and forth at the foot of the bed because there was distinct creaking at the foot of the bed, and it went from one end to the other, and it paced back and forth a few times, and then it finally stopped, and it just stared at me. And I was like, so you know the whole fight or flight thing? Well, I'm a freezer. I freeze. I don't fight, and I don't run. I just get paralyzed in the face of fear. So I'm like frozen, just like laying there. Like I know something is there, like 100%, like no questions asked, something is there. I'm like freaking myself out thinking about this, like the dryer's running and I heard it like do something and it freaked me out. So I'm like freaked out, and in my brain I'm like, I could either stay here and find out like what happens to me, like maybe like a lamp is gonna fall on my head, maybe the whole like just the roof on this room is gonna fall down. And I was absolutely horrified. So I jump out of bed as fast as I can, and I like pounded on the door, and I was like, are you done taking a shower yet? Or to the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, like, are you done? Like, get out of there. And he's like, well, what's wrong? And so I tell him what happened, and he tries to debunk it, of course, which he's very, very good at being the logical side of me, because I feel like my imagination does run away from me sometimes. And he's like, well, maybe like there was some like weird like chain reaction, like if I was like walking around in the tub, if like maybe it like creaked the floor in the bedroom. So I'm sitting in the bedroom, and he walks around in the tub, and nothing. I don't hear anything. He walks around like in the bathroom, nothing. Like walks around like on the landing, like nothing. And when he walked on the, like when we walk on the foot, like at the foot of the bed on the floor, it was that same distinct creaking noise. It was absolutely horrifying. I don't remember if that probably wasn't the last instance of something that happened in that house. I know that him and his friend had a few instances with like blankets and like lights turning on and off and like crazy stuff. Also, I have to say, like, I always get really freaked out when like animals just like stare, when they just stop what they're doing and they just stare. And this freaking cat just keeps staring. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna die. So mind you, it's like 4 in the morning where I'm at right now, and I am home alone currently, so it's absolutely terrifying. Anyway, so I just wanted to share that story with you guys. I'll see if I can get Ed to post the rest of the story on his channel, and I will link that below whenever he does that. If he does it, I don't know. But thanks so much for listening today. I really appreciate it. I kind of have fun with like ghost stories and stuff like that, so I might kind of tell some more like creepy paranormal stuff in the future. I'm not sure, but you guys let me know if you're interested, and thank you so much again for checking it out. Bye!